Welcome to the video Point of Fitness here on the Spirit of Fitness. Chris Robrahn here, host of the show. Our senior contributor is James Eicher, the man behind the camera. Welcome, James.
Thank you, Chris. I'll try to be steady on my feet here.
And let me say it all, welcome. And today we're at Apex Training here in Wichita, Kansas, and with trainer Pat Mosley. Welcome, Pat.
Thanks, Chris.
And today the focus is going to be on squat rack training. Demonstrate?
Yeah.
Okay. Pat is going to demonstrate the proper way to squat using a rack. Sir, if you're using a squat pattern like this, you need to make sure to use an appropriate amount of weight. What I always do when I do squatting, either at home or at the gym, I always start off relatively light. You never want to start off too heavy. Proper form, very, very important.
What are some of the key things, Chris, that when you're looking at what we're doing here for Pat, in terms of your breaking it down, some of the elements of what you did there in the squat?
Yeah, the purpose of the exercise is when you're doing a proper squat.
One of the benefits of it is, of course, gains in strength. The purpose of doing it is it's a movement pattern that we perform every single day in life, so it's important to A, strengthen the skeletal system, and B, reinforce that same movement pattern we perform daily.
It looked like you had your back relatively straight and you had a bench there that you squatted down to and then went back up. Could you explain that briefly?
Yeah, so your posture underneath the bar should be a strong flat back posture, and then when you're sitting your hips back towards the bench, you really want to reach backwards with your hips until you make contact with the bench. Once you make contact with that platform, you unload the weight slightly and stand back up or accelerate off of the platform.
How important is it for you to have that bench or that platform there, and why do you do that?
Well, for a couple reasons. One, it helps maintain proper depth or appropriate depth on the down phase of a squat. And two, it also helps you accelerate off of the bottom or out of the hole of the squat.
And Pat, let me ask you too, if you are squatting and you do squatting incorrectly, what potentially could be the downfall?
Lumbar spine injury is the first thing that comes to my mind. A back injury is very common when squatting improperly. You could really do some damage if you don't warm up properly or choose your weights correctly.
So should someone do a squat in the presence of a trainer or a buddy or something like that, so if you do have a problem, they can help you out of it?
Certainly. A spotter is always encouraged when squatting. If you don't, we do have safety bars, which does help, but you have to be an experienced lifter in order to perform this exercise correctly.
And how often should one squat, and should it be something they do constantly, or should they change it out with something else like maybe leg press?
There's plenty of different squat variations. This is called a box squat. That's just one variation of a squat. You can do lunges, split squats, or front squats. The intensity and the volume determine how frequently you should squat, but we recommend 2 times a week.
Excellent. Sounds like a great way to gain strength. We certainly appreciate all of you watching this. Thank you very much and have a powerful week.